recap of UFC Fight Night, DeRitter versus Allen. And overall, this was a pretty good card. We had a lot of finishes and a lot of underdogs on this one. So let's start off from early prelims. Melissa Croden, she got the win over Tainara Lisboa by TKO in round 3. It was a pretty decent fight. Lisboa was getting some success on the feet as well in round 1. And then Croden just poured it on at the end of round 3, got the TKO. It was a pretty good fight. Now, what really impressed me was Yusri Belagarui beating Azamat Bikoyev, which I didn't expect because Bikoyev, he had some of that experience. He was, 20-3 in MMA. He had 2 fights already in the UFC. I thought the grappling was going to be a little too much for Yusri, but he kind of shut it down. Not completely, got taken down at times, but didn't really get controlled, and he was cutting Azamat with the elbows, and he was getting up, and on the feet he was a foot taller than Azamat Bikoyev. So I know Yusri, I guess the way to get him is an overhand right. I mean, that's what I've seen when watching his fights with Alex Pereira, but Bikoyev isn't 6'4", so yeah, Yusri, he popped the jab, and round 3 he hurt him with a right hand and finished him up against the cage. It was standing TKO, but it was a pretty good stoppage in my opinion. And Stephanie Luciano, she got a submission win in round 3. It was a pretty slow start, but it was picking up as the fight went on. Round 1, probably Luciano, and round 2, I'd say also Luciano's just landing a little more and a little better. And round 3, she gets the takedown, and she lands a big shot with ground and pound, and Oliveira gives up her back, and Luciano gets a rear naked choke. So that's good from her. And Jordan Santos, he beat Danny Barlow, which I didn't expect. I thought Danny Barlow was gonna get this one by TKO in probably the earlier rounds, but Santos is tough, man. Barlow couldn't get him out of there, and it was just a pace. He had a better gas tank in there, and even though he almost got put down in round 2, he gave it back to Danny Barlow, almost had him finished at the end of round 2, and won the 3rd round as well. Used some of his grappling there, and he won the fight by decision, and I'd say it was a pretty good decision. Bruno Silva, he gets a win, crafty vet, over Hyun-Sung Park. I got this one wrong. I thought Park was going to get this one done, probably because a little bit younger and hasn't been taking the punishment that Bruno Silva has been taking, but he was good. He did good. He showed him experience. The uppercut was landing nice. Also dropped Hyun-Sung Park with a left hook, and round 3 he got a rear naked choke. So yeah, it was pretty good, and yeah, I guess he was looking more fresh out there, I guess, and he was pushing the pace, so good on Bruno Silva. Ari Chilang gets a 20-second knockout over Cody Gibson. Cody Gibson came out pretty aggressive, looking for the inside low kicks, it seemed, but Chilang just caught him. He just caught him coming in with a right hand, and it was a very good right hand. Early rounds, 20 seconds in, I mean, he just puts Cody Gibson out. Very good underdog win, and he got a $50,000 bonus for that one. I'd say it's well deserved. Now, Drew Dober, he got a win over Kyle Prepolek by TKO round 3, and yeah, this was a good Dober performance. I'd say he won the first round, just landing the bigger shots. Prepolek did land a head kick, but other than that, not too much. Round 2, it looks like Dober's going on to win the round, but at the end, Prepolek kind of drops him or stumbles him, and then he kind of wins the round back for himself. And round 3, that's when Drew Dober, he landed a low blow on Kyle Prepolek. It was about 29 seconds in or something like that, and Yeah, it was a bad one. It was a bad groin shot. Got a point deducted away from him. I mean, I could understand it, but at the same time, maybe not. We'll talk about another fight that maybe there should have been a point deduction in. But anyway, they resume action, and Dober just pours it on, looks for a finish, gets a finish in round 3. So yeah, it got a little ugly in round 3, but it was a good performance by Dober. Let's go to the main card. Kyle Nelson versus Matt Frevola. Another weird situation. Dan Miragliotta just made a huge mistake. Like, it didn't cost Kyle Nelson to win. He won the fight by decision, but that should have been a round 1 TKO because he kind of dropped Matt Frevola at the end of round 1 and the ground and pound. It looks like Frevola's out, and then Dan Miragliotta, he stops the fight with 3 seconds left and then says that it was the end of a round, so they resume action, and Kyle Nelson just spent all that energy thinking he won the fight. It congratulates Frevola, but fight's still on. And then round 2, I think I gave that one to Frevola, but you could also give it to Nelson. And round 3, I remember that one more. Nelson was landing some good body kicks, but Frevola's also landing back. He's a tough guy, but I'd say Nelson was kind of stolen. He was kind of robbed of a TKO, but it was a good fight. And did this get fight of the night? No. It was Dober and Prepolek. Now let's move on to Charles Jourdain and Davy Grant. I went with Davy Grant on this one. Crafty that, but Jourdain got him. He got him with a flying knee. Did he land that one twice? He might have landed a flying knee twice. Or he missed the first attempt, and then later he landed that flying knee clean on the nose of Davy Grant, and yeah, ground and pound into a guillotine from Charles Jourdain, and impressive stuff, very impressive stuff. And he got a performance bonus for that one. So Manon Fiorot versus Jasmine Jasdovicius. And then Manon Fiorot, I butchered that. Manon Fiorot, she got a round 1 TKO, minute 14 seconds. She was landing that jab, and then she was kind of pulling out, and then put the 2 behind it, wobbles Jasdovicius pretty badly, and then she goes down with a knee, and then they stopped the fight. It was a good stoppage. Jasmine was complaining, but she looked out of there at the time. But Manon Fiorot, I was pretty confident picking her because she did look pretty good against Shevchenko, and she could have honestly won that fight. But yeah, she did really well. So props to her. Now let's move on to Eamon Zahabi versus Marlon Vera, and Eamon Zahabi won this fight by split decision. Or did he? So I actually thought Marlon Vera won this fight, and I picked Eamon Zahabi to win. So no bias there. Round 1, my opinion, Vera's round. He was landing stinging shots. Not as much shots, but he was landing the big shots, and the jab was working. I thought he was doing really well with some of those punches, and Zahabi, more quantity, but didn't really do that much in round 1, I gotta be honest. I mean, he kind of got some flurries in there, but no real big shots landed, so in my opinion, that's a Vera round. Round 2, Vera drops him with a jab pretty badly, but Zahabi recovers, and he doesn't get the round back for himself, but he gets in the fight. Yeah, he builds himself back in the fight, and not enough to win the round, but he got back in there. And so in my opinion, Marlon Vera's up 2-0 now. Round 3, that's Eamon Zahabi's round. Just landing more, a little better as well, but Vera was also landing okay. So I thought this should have been 29-28 Marlon Vera, I gotta be honest. But I knew they were gonna give it to Zahabi. Like, because it's in Canada, they love him on the scorecards. He got a win over Jose Aldo. And I honestly thought Aldo also could have won that fight, but anyway. I think this is probably the ceiling, though, for Amin Zahabi. I know he called out Sean O'Malley. I don't really think he has a chance against Sean O'Malley. He could have a chance. He's tough, but I don't think he wins that fight, I gotta be honest. And I'm just thinking of these other guys. Maybe he could beat Figueiredo, but other than that, I don't really think he's really beating top guys. Now let's move on to the co-main event. Mike Malott versus Kevin Holland. Mike Malott won this fight by 29-28. That's how I scored this. And yeah, another weird situation, round one. He lands 2 groin shots on Kevin Holland. I think they were both in round one. The first one, it wasn't too much, and Holland just kind of shuns it off. He's good to go. And the second one, knee to the body by Mike Malott, but it wasn't to the body. It was to the cup, and yeah, Holland took the full 5 minutes. More than 5 minutes, actually. And yeah, it was just... I thought they would have taken a point, I gotta be honest, if they take away a point from Drew Dober. Maybe some Canadian bias in there. Yeah, I thought this probably should have been a point deduction, but it wasn't. And, you know, I still gave the first round to Holland because he kind of dropped him. Where he caught the leg and then he landed a right hand. I don't know if they scored that officially as a knockdown, but yeah, so I give round one to Holland. Round two, Mike Malott, he's landing a little better. And then round three, he's also landing a little better. Almost gets an arm triangle submission, but not quite. Holland rolls out of it. And yeah, Mike Malott, he won the last 2 rounds. Anyway, win was kind of ruined in my opinion just because of that. Just because of the fouls. Like, there's not too much quality in the win anymore, but he's ranked now. Holland was top 15. Now Malott's ranked. So good on him. Now let's move on to the main event. Brendan Allen versus Reinier de Ridder. This one disappointed me, guys. Like, it really disappointed me. I thought Reinier de Ridder was going to win this one, like, pretty comfortably, but hey, he gassed out. Like, he gassed out badly in this one. I don't know why, I gotta be honest. Or, anyway, we'll get to that, but Brendan Allen, he gets a TKO win because Reinier de Ridder couldn't continue after round 4. And, yeah, he kind of quit. He was just out of gas. In round 1, de Ridder kind of dominates the round. He not much ground and pound, but he wins it very clearly with the grappling. Takes down Brendan Allen. It was a judo throw. Looked for an arm triangle, couldn't really get it. At the end of the round, he kind of looked for an arm bar, but couldn't get it. So that's a round 1 for de Ridder. Round 2, it was looking like the same thing was going to happen. De Ridder takes him down, but it was de Ridder trying to get the back, and then he slipped off the back, and Brendan Allen reversed him and got on top. Like, he did this Brendan Allen style, and then Allen spends most of the round on top, and does land some ground and pound, so Brendan Allen round 2. And then round 3, same exact thing. Like, there's not much else I can say. Same exact thing. But round 4, that's when Brendan Allen shoots on RDR. Then he gets a double leg. RDR's on bottom position the entire round. Oh yeah, I forgot to say it. I think in round 3, or it was the end of round 2, de Ridder almost gets a triangle, or he throws up the triangle. It didn't look like it was close, but just gotta mention that. But round 4, yeah, Brendan Allen just spends a whole round on top. Yeah. And de Ridder couldn't continue. So, yeah, pretty disappointing performance for me. good on Brendan Allen for beating a top 4 opponent on relatively short notice. And I don't know how DeRitter got so tired. I guess just being on bottom, and you are in the heavier weight classes, maybe that's why, but I thought he was going to be able to get up from bottom position, especially in round 2. Just saying that. And I thought we would have seen more striking. The knees to the body, I thought those would have worked very well for him. His jab is good, and in my opinion, he kind of has that unorthodox style on the feet, and I said he kind of had that X factor, and that was the difference between these two. But DeRitter just gassed out. Brendan Allen got the win, and that's it, pretty much. Not sure where they go from here. If they want to give Brendan Allen an opponent, maybe DDP would be good. Dricus du Plessis, Brendan Allen, because they do kind of have they have some beef going, so that would be a good build-up. And for DeRitter, I assume they're going to give him somebody lower ranked. I don't know, maybe maybe Baralho is the highest ranked opponent I can think of. Maybe they even give him a Jared Cannonier. Maybe they give him a Michael Venom Page. I don't really think that would happen though, so maybe DeRitter needs to move up. He is a really big middleweight. Cuts a lot of weight, so maybe he needs to move up, but anyway. I might make a video on fights to make next, so anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.